So, today we are going to cover active and passive voice. Okay. So, anybody has any idea what is active and passive voice?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please tell me.
Ma'am, so active and passive voice are mainly based on the structure of the sentence,
Okay.
uh, which is the sequence of subject, verb, and object.
Okay. Very good. Anything else anybody would like to add?
Ma'am, may I tell more?
Sorry, one.
Ma'am, active is a type of sentence where the arrangement is subject, verb, object, whereas passive is a type of sentence where the structure is object, verb, and subject.
Okay, very good. All right. So, let's start with this. So, as Yuvan has already mentioned, voice is the form of a verb that indicates whether the subject of the sentence performs the action or receives the action. So, suppose if I tell you that this is a bottle and I am holding the bottle. So, can you tell me which one is the main subject here?
I,
Sorry?
I,
Right. And which one is the secondary one?
bottle.
Right. So suppose the sentence is I am Ria is kicking a ball. Let's just write down the sentence. Yeah, Ria is kicking a ball. So can anybody tell me which one is the main subject here?
Ria,
Very good. And which one is receiving the action?
ball.
Yes. So if we see clearly, Ria is performing the action and ball is receiving the action, right? So there are two voices in English language and they are as follows: active and passive voice. If the action is done by the subject, then it is in active voice. So let's write down the
Yes, yes.
sentence once again. Okay. So can you tell me if it
Ouch,
is an
mummy को
active
उल्टा हो
voice or
गया.
a passive voice?
Ma'am, could you please repeat as there is a disturbance from another audio?
Yeah, sure. So I am saying that if the action is done by the subject, then it is active voice. If the action is done to the subject, then it is in passive voice. So I have written a sentence, all you can see in red. So can you please tell me if it is an active voice or a passive voice? Anybody?
Active.
Okay. And why is it active?
Ma'am, active. It is active as Ria is kicking, so the action is being performed by the Ria.
Very, very good. So, if I ask you to convert it in passive voice, what should it be?
The ball is being kicked by Ria.
Very good. So, you see, in the first sentence, we see that the subject is performing the action to the object, right? So, that is why it is active voice. But in passive voice, the subject receives the action. So, changing active voice into passive voice will be something like this: convert object of active voice into subject in passive voice, like we have just done it. Let me write down this once again. Ria is kicking a ball. A ball is being kicked by Ria. Okay. So this is the first sentence, this is the second sentence, this is active voice, and this is passive voice. So if you see clearly, in here in the first sentence, the subject is performing the action to the object. Now, if we are converting this active voice into passive voice, first thing we will do, we will swap them. How? We will put the ball in the first place, then we will add few words that would be describing that the ball is receiving the action, and then we will place the subject. Basically the object and the subject will be changing, swapping places, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here we can see few rules like how to form a sentence. For present simple, am is are plus the V3 form will be there. Then for present progressive, am is are plus being, and then the V3 form will be there. Why? Because being we will have to add, because if it is in continuous tense, if it is happening at the very moment, suppose Ria is kicking the ball, that's why we have added being, right? To
Yes,
imply
ma'am.
that at that very moment it was happening. So if there is ing in the active voice, we will be adding being while changing it into a passive voice. But if it was simple tense like Ria kicked a ball, can anybody tell me how would have been the answer?
Ma'am, the sentence is Ria
Ria,
kicked the ball.
yeah, let me write down this. Ria kicked a ball.
Ma'am, may I tell the answer?
Yes, please.
The ball was kicked by Ria.
Very good. Now that is what you are talking about is past simple, right? The ball
Yes, ma'am.
was kicked by Ria. Why? Because it was past. That is why was we are adding as auxiliary word, and the third form of the word, that is kicked, right?
Ma'am,
So
third
you
form is also known as past participle, right?
right, right. So you have to remember one thing, that no matter which tense it is, two things will be constant. That is, one is auxiliary verb, second is V3, that is past participle, right? We all can see that the auxiliary verbs are here, and then the V3 is here. And then time to time we are adding being, going to be, been, depending on which tense they are using in the sentence. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So like we can see in the future, we all know whenever we are making a sentence in future, we add will be, shall be, right? That is to
Yes,
imply
ma'am.
it is in the future. Yes, that is why we are adding will be. Now, sorry, now future, if it is going to happen, then auxiliary verb and then going to be will be there, and then we will be using V3 form. Present perfect, have, has, we all know that normal present perfect have these auxiliary verbs with them, then been, and then the V3. Okay, so please, I am asking everybody that make sure you are familiar with this chart, because this is going to be the foundation of how you are making sentence, be it active voice, be it passive voice, be it a normal sentence based on tenses. Okay, so that we can avoid any kind of grammatical mistakes. Now we can see there are few more examples for past perfect, future perfect models, and there are more a few types of models. So we will be covering one by one. Can anybody read it out loud for me?
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah, sure.
Ma'am, so first we have past perfect, which
Okay.
is had plus been plus verb third form, also known as past participle.
Right.
Next, we have future perfect. The structure is will plus have been plus past participle.
Okay.
Then we have models like can.
Mm-hmm.
So this includes can or could plus be plus past participle.
Okay.
Next, we have models like have to. So here we can imply have to or has to or had to plus be plus past participle. And model and the structure for model must will be must plus be plus past participle.
Right. So there are three types of models we can see, that can, could, has, had to, have to, and then must. And the rest of the rules will be the same. Like we will be adding have been or has to or be depending on the tense, and V3 would be constant. Okay. So first rule is auxiliary verb has to be there. Second is we will have to add be, being, have to, has to depending on the tense. Third is V3 form will be constant no matter which tense it is. We are going to use the V3, which means the past participle form of the verb. And four and more most important rule is, whenever we are converting active voice to passive voice, we will have to make sure that we are adding by. This word is important, very, very important. Why? Because we all know that for the passive voice, what is the rule of passive voice? Let me ask you. What is the rule of passive voice? Can anybody tell me?
Ma'am, object, then verb, then subject.
Yes, so basically the object is receiving the action, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So at first, as per the rules, we will be writing the object converting into the subject. Then we will adding whatever the rest of the sentence is there, and then to imply that the subject is receiving the action by the secondary object, we will have to add by. Like Ria kicked a ball, so when we converted it, a ball got kicked by Ria. A ball was kicked by Ria. So that we understand that the ball was getting kicked, and who was kicking it? It was getting kicked by Ria. Clear, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So now few rules are there. Always put the main verb in past participle form V3, which I have just mentioned. That it has to be V3 in every kind of sentence if it is about active or passive voice. Now convert the subject to active voice into object of passive voice and put by before it. Is this what I have just said right now?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
you explained that in passive voice, why do we need to use by?
Exactly. So this is why we will be needing by for the conversion in passive voice. Now we can see that, see if there is a name, it is easy. Like I'm using Ria, I was using Ria, right? So it was easy to tell or convert that the ball got kicked by Ria. But suppose if it is we, he, she, all right. So whenever we are converting those to passive voice, we cannot say that the ball got kicked by I. Is this a correct English, do you think?
No, ma'am. It is also sounding incorrect.
Yes. And for these kind of words, we have a converted version, that is for I, we will be using me, for we will be using us, he, him, she, her, they, them, you for you, it for it. Okay, like it and you would have be the same thing, and for I, we, she, they, we are converting them so that the sentence sounds more correct and logicful. So if I tell you, if I'm giving you a sentence, suppose I am eating rice, can we convert it?
Rice are being eaten by me.
Okay, rice is being eaten by me. Why? Because I is getting converted to me. Now if I say that we play football,
Football is being played by us.
Okay, that's how we are converting them to us, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is also something we will have to memorize, but I believe that this is very easy for you people, because these are very less to remember, and this is a basic that we already use, right? Okay. Now you can see there are few examples, like Mona is writing, the subject is Mona, writing is verb, and the letter was object. Now when we are converting it, we are swapping the places with letter and Mona. The letter comes first, changing the object into subject, then is being, why? Because it was in the continuous tense, right? We all know what is continuous tense.
Ma'am, the one which is still going.
Yes, at this very moment it is happening, and that is why it is continuous. Whenever it is continuous, we will be adding auxiliary and then ing with being. Like it was writing, so it became being. And then the V3 form will be there of the main word, that is writing. Writing's third form of verb is written. And by Mona, which was the subject in the active voice, we are just placing them in the last of the word, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So the rules are clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I am giving you two sentences. Let's just see if we are ready to proceed further. Sorry. Okay, anybody would like to answer the first question?
Ma'am, may I answer?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, so the answer of this question will be a book is being written by Ria.
Very good. Now, what about the second? Anybody else would like to answer this? Anybody else? Dia? Okay. Yuvan, can you please answer it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
please.
so the answer of this one will be a car is being mm, driven by Paul.
Driven. Yes,
Okay.
correct. So we are seeing that whenever in the main verb, that is there is ing, we are adding being, and before that there will be an auxiliary verb. It can be is, or if it was like past continuous, it was like was being, right? And then we will be adding a by, and we will just swap the object with the subject, and that is how we will be getting our passive voice out of that active voice. Now let us discuss in detail the changes in verbs from active to passive voice in various tenses forms, whichever I was just saying. So subject plus root form of the verb and then object. Passive voice would be object, auxiliary verb, past participle form, by, and then subject. Like Rohit waters the plant. The plants were watered by Rohit. Simple, easy. Yes or
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
maybe? Okay, great. For present continuous tense, active voice will be am is are, the auxiliary verb in present tense, ing form of the word. Like I have just given the example, Paul was driving a car. For the passive voice, it will be am is our auxiliary verb depending on the tense, being past participle form of the word. Like she is cooking food, food is being cooked by her. We can also see that she converted into her, right? That is how we are changing the words, keeping the meaning same. For present perfect, the car has hit an old man, an man has been hit by the car. Why? Because this is a present perfect tense. For past indefinite tense, Rohit bought a laptop. A laptop was bought by Rohit. See, there was bought, and that's how we understood that it is in past indefinite tense. That's why in the auxiliary verb also we have added the past form and then the V3 and the rest of the rule we have followed. For past continuous tense, Rahul was cleaning the car was being cleaned by Rahul. Past continuous, which I have just mentioned, ing is being returned as adding being. Is changing into was because it is in past continuous and then the rest of the rule are being followed. For past perfect, she had won the first prize. The first prize had been won by her. This is the basic rule of past perfect. We are adding had been because it was in the past perfect and then the V3 form and then the rest of it. Future indefinite, very easy. We will be understanding if there is a will or shall in sentence that it is a future indefinite tense. Then we will be adding will be, then the V3 form and then the rest of the rules.
Ma'am, is future indefinite tense same as future simple?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. See, it was simple future if I say in that word, and now we are covering future continuous tense. Right? So,
Yes, ma'am.
verbs in the future continuous tense cannot be changed in the passive voice. No logical sense is there, but we will have to memorize this. What is that? Can you read it out loud?
Verbs in the future continuous tense cannot be changed in the passive voice.
Right. Now, future perfect tense. Example, our team will have announced the list of players. The list of players will have been announced by our team. So, what did we do here? Will have announced, we have converted that into will have been announced. Why? Because it was future perfect tense. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the modal verbs can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must, ought to, has to, have to, had to. These, while changing these from active to passive voice, the verb is changed to the third form and be is added. See, like in the modal verbs, we know that these words are included, right? Suppose we are taking must, like he must learn this book. He must be learned. Why? Because in the modal verbs, if these words are included, we will have to put as same as they are and then add a be so that we can add a V3 form. Without adding a be with the modal verb, we won't be able to place the third form of the verb. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, sentences being with let. Let him read the stories. Let the stories be read by him. Let us recollect old memories. Let the old memories be recollected. Whenever there is a let, we will place the let and then we will see which is the subject, which is the object. Normally we have seen that at the first word of the sentence used to be the subject, then we would have been swiping those with the object. But if there is a let, that is not a subject, that is the starting word of the active voice or a passive voice. So we will place let as it is, then we will look out if there is a subject, if there is an object, then we will swap the places. But make sure that before doing all this, we are placing let. Okay. Now, if there are command type of sentences like close the windows, let the windows be closed. Even when there is no let involved, but the sentence is sounding like a command, then also we will have to add let. Like throw the garbage in the dustbin, let the garbage be thrown in the dustbin. So if I say that close the doors, what what would be the converted passive version of that?
Let the doors be closed.
Very good. So for let, beginning, or no let but sounding like a command, we will have to add let as it is. Transformation to of interrogative sentence into passive voice. Auxiliary verbs do, does, did in active voice change to is, was, were. Auxiliary verbs like has, have in active voice changed into has or have. I'll show you how. Like, did you break the vase? Whenever it is like not command but and a question. Okay. So if there is a did word or do, we will just convert it into auxiliary word. If it is did, it will be was. If it is do, it will be is, depending on the tense. But if there is already have included, we can also use have or has to form a question, right? If it is like that, we will place the have or has as it is. But for the did case, if it is did, then based on the tense do or did, we will be adding auxiliary verbs. So if I say that, um, do you completed did you complete your homework, what would be the converted version?
Was the homework completed by you?
Very good. And have you eaten your breakfast?
Have the breakfast eaten by you?
Have you eaten your breakfast? Let me write down this bit.
Has the breakfast eaten by you?
Yes. Bin. You are forgetting bin, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
whenever we are doing something like this, we will have to make sure that when we are changing the subject and object, and we are placing have or has, we are placing have or has depending on the swapped subject, right? So when I said that have you, it the have was for the you, but since we are swapping with the breakfast with you, so it would be has, because it would be placing because of the breakfast, and for breakfast it would be has, and then we will be adding bin and then the v3 form, right? Clear till now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For the who when version of the sentences, we will just add by whom if it is a person. If it is when, it will be like when was the work completed by you, when did you complete your homework, when was the work completed by you. But if it is like who, signifying a person, then by whom we will be adding, because if we go to the very first slide, I have said that Ria kicked a ball, and then we were swapping that. We added by Ria to imply that it was performed by Ria. So whenever it is who, it can also justify there is a person. We are just not naming him, right? So we will be adding by whom, right? Okay. Now, this is the chart I would really like you to go through so that you have a brief idea about what we have just learned in this chapter. Like simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous for these three tenses. And if you are able to memorize and understand it, why it is happening, whatever is happening, then there will be no mistakes so far. Okay. So that is all from my side. If there is any doubt, please feel free to ask me. And I hope I was able to teach you a bit of this chapter.